Okay, so we're now live, but let's give people a few minutes to come in and stuff. So, guys, if you're watching this, I need to post on Sidekick and actually make sure people are coming in. So say hello in the chat box once you get in. I see there's like already a dozen or so people watching. So say hello in the chat box if you're on the YouTube channel. If you're not on the YouTube channel, get over to the YouTube channel where you can actually type and we know who you are because that's always a pain. Let me just send out a few messages to make sure people are joining. So let me see.
Can we do a bloopers on Marian and Russell trying to get on live?
What, like the screeching that just went off? Come and join us. We are live now.
He's sweating right now, and we made it.
It's like always the same with you. Always the same. Like everybody else just comes on, everything's fine. You come on and just get deafened by feedback from like 5 different devices.
But they're probably like on a laptop with the webcam. I don't have that.
All right, so I'm sending out a message. So this session is going to be pretty helpful for people that are already in Sidekick Traders. But that doesn't mean that if you're not already in that you can't get some value out of this. And certainly we want you to come and join us. So if you don't know what the website is, I'll put it into the chat box. We have a 3-day trial, so come in and join us. You'll be able to see for yourself like what we're talking about tonight, which is going to be probably the easiest way to do things. But I thought it'd be really cool to go over some of the trades that Marian's been making because somehow, and I don't know how, she does a much better job of these trades than I do. Like today we did 2 trades, right? I took the one losing trade, managed to lose more on it than you did, and then you took another one straight away from the same bot and made all that money back plus more. So I thought it'd be cool if we could sit down and like just kind of go through with everybody like how you're working this, like the details, like how you're managing the trades, which ones you're getting into, like what contracts you're taking, like the whole thing, so that people can look at these signals in the Discord and take these trades themselves. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, I mean, and that's also, I think, the goal. Like, it's very hard, especially if you're taking a 5-minute signal, to share it. And I also miss a lot of them just because it's the summer and the kids are home and stuff. And the reason why I had them auto post there is because I want people. It's a different feeling when you're like it's nice to follow alerts and have someone else's idea to look at and work with and still make your own decision. But like if you're using these, you can totally make your own decision and you don't feel like you're 1 second behind because you're reading the alert and then finding the contract. Like, I'll like tell you from the beginning, but in the morning I put each thing on watch. So I think if you see or understand how I'm doing it, there's no reason why you can't do it completely on your own.
Yeah, so I'm just saying hi to people. So IPA's here, Lydia from Nav Room's here, Michael's here. So quite a few people tuning in, so it's pretty cool. I thought we should start just by giving a really quick overview for the people that haven't been following like what you've been doing. I put up the spreadsheet that you're banding around, so hopefully you guys watching can see the spreadsheet in enough detail. I actually do have a link to it. I just posted it on my own website. Let me post it into the chat. So you guys probably know I have like a million websites, so I pulled the first one up I possibly could, and I put at the last minute here. If you look in the chat, I just typed in on the YouTube channel chat because we are live on Facebook as well, by the way. So if you look at that link, that's Marian's spy bot results for the last 6 weeks or something. I think the dates are on there. So she's been taking, I think, 39 trades over the last 6 weeks. So not like a whole lot, right? Quite chilled out, really.
I've been and then just have missed some of them because I wasn't right here. But
right.
I like less. So
yeah, less is more, and then so you can see. So if you look at the thing, like this is what's amazing. The market has been just down the pan, right? It's just been horrendous. Every time we go to buy something, the market goes the other way, and if you try and short it, it goes the other way. It's just a nightmare. So the cool thing is, and I've been so impressed with this, is Marian's doubled or more than doubled this account. I'm sure it's a small account, like a small account challenge type thing, but you can scale this up, if you want to. But what's that? 133% in 39 trades, so pretty consistent. Couple of big losses, and we can probably talk about the 2 losses that you've had, or I think it's 2 or 3, right, out of the 39. look at the numbers at the top there. So you can see the number of losses. I think 4 actually it says. And the portfolio went from 1,000 to 2,300.
I'm so sorry. There's 4 losses that cut off the top of it.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
can see right now. It's because it's longer than my screen.
Oh, okay.
There's no way there's 2. I remember I had 3, and then there was 1 from today.
So I see another Marian computer that has the same thing on it. Should I add that to the stream?
Oh, well, that's what I'm streaming from. Yeah, so I'll share my screen. Do you see it?
Okay, so I'll stop sharing mine and then we'll share yours. So let me see. Remove. So there's a. There we go. Okay, so that's your full screen. So
cutting off this one.
Okay, yeah. So you'll get some idea of the results from that thing that I posted on the website there. But this is the full spreadsheet. For some reason, it was cut off. So
yeah, I don't know why it just barely fits. I guess it's just I'm like at the bottom of the page. But yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 today, and then these ones.
Yeah, so and this is coming from one channel in Sidekick. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Just noticed you said, and hello, Jane, as well. How's it going?
In there, but I can't. Hi, guys.
I can share the Sidekick channel in a second if you want. I think it was working on mine, but I thought we'd start with just kind of showing like what you've been doing. So this is one channel in Sidekick, and it's coming from an algo that you bought yourself, and you've been using, and then you've been using a bot to bring it into Sidekick, and it's given buy sell signals. So this is the core data, right? This is what you're importing from TradingView, right? So, but it's showing up like this in the Discord. It's much more simple form in the Discord, but
yeah.
So this is the raw data. Should we give them a quick view of the Discord? I think I can probably share mine.
Sure.
So that's the raw buy and sell algorithm. What's it costing you? Like a couple $100 a month or something just for this?
Yeah, it's a paid script.
Yeah, so it's like a decent high quality thing that we've been testing, which is it's pretty fun. So let me try and add mine to the thing. It's changed. So I wanted to give people that haven't seen this. I know there's plenty of people in here from Sidekick, but I wanted to give them. Let me just stop this. So I'm going to stop that, and then I'm going to share my screen somewhere here. Share screen. Watch this pop up this time. Here we go. It's going to be here. Oh yeah, general chat Discord. All right, so I can show the Discord. Hopefully, there's nothing too crazy on there. So we're looking at these signals. So you see this column on the left, guys, like the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50 minute. Can you see all that? Like, or
yeah,
that's good. Okay, cool. So this is the channel we're talking about tonight in the Discord. So if you've been following the spy channel, maybe you haven't got a chance to like check it out properly yet. This is it. So she recently added the 1 minute spy, but usually it's been like the 5 minute signals we've been following. So basically, really simple.
They're like the ones that you just saw that are jammed back to back is because it's futures, so they're obviously not as much movement after hours, but the 1 minute has been helping us during market hours to kind of, at least me, to time the 5 minute better.
Right, and we'll get into all of that once we kind of get through here. So the 5 minute signal is one that you've been using a lot. So it'll flash up. You can follow just this channel, for example, if you wanted to, or just these two channels. Set your Discord settings to those if you're only interested in trading the strategy, and then you can get alerted whenever these change. And they'll pop up simple SPY buy signal, which might not seem that helpful because you're not getting to see the chart, the raw underlying chart, right? But we can kind of talk through, like, that's kind of the point here, is we can talk through what Marian is doing when one of these signals flashes a buy or a sell or both, depending on what happens. So I just wanted to show that before we launch into all the details, because people will have at least an idea what to expect or to check out these channels. So make sense?
Makes sense. Hey.
All right, cool. So let's so how do you want to do this? First of all, people ask questions as we go, so that we it's kind of a question answer session. So I'm going to put Marian's computer back up, which has the underlying charts that give rise to those signals. So just give me a sec. I'll try and switch this over again. So remove this one and then add this one. Okay. So back to the underlying charts here. So pretty fun. So what the hell are we looking at?
So this is all for the futures. This is the 1 minute chart. This is the 5. This is a 15, and I pulled 2 hours. I don't usually look like this, and we also have other tickers besides SPY set up for it.
Yeah.
But since we did put the 1 minute in here, like this is what it looks like. You could tell from the volume, like when these were market hours. And this is just a volume profile. I'm gonna make it bigger, the 5 minutes, since I use it the most. This, what you see, this is free on TradingView. You can get it. I know TOS has a volume profile. I changed that a little bit, but this is something that I use to help me when I'm trading them, and I use the time frames in unison.
Okay.
So
Cool.
when we were going to take that 5 minute that ended up being a loss this morning,
Yep.
like the first thing I said, I was like, all right, well, 15 minutes is in the sell still. So I knew that it was either going to work for us really quick or we'd have to cut it quick because we were going against the trend, right?
Right.
And I actually was up 11%, but I didn't get out because I shared that I was taking it. So then, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to be quick on, especially a 5 minute signal, especially if you're going against a higher time
Right.
signal. And in Discord, all it is, it's just automatically when the candle closes, it's just telling us I need it say sell or buy when the arrows come.
Right.
In my style of trading, like I don't know what do you like. Oh, so I'm always taking close expiration. You could tell that from the spreadsheet. If we talk about that first,
So 0 DT.
yeah, or like one day, like today is what, Tuesday or Monday? I don't know what day it is.
Monday.
But yeah, so it was 0 day. So, tomorrow I'll be playing Wednesdays, so it's like one day. My TOS is set up like this. I just figured out how to set up Webull like this. But I always chart patterns too. Where were we, Russell? We took it right here, right?
Oh God, don't remind me. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
15 minute was in the sell. It had been in the sell since pre-market.
Yeah.
The only thing I think about on almost all of these trades, if I can see an easy like symmetrical triangle or wedge or whatever, I'm always charting that all day. But for the when I took the loss on the call, it was when we were here in a 5 minute candle open under and close under, and then I flipped the put. Kind of got a little funny there, and then it went down today. But really, I was just thinking of the volume profile, where we were in comparison to VWAP, and what at that point when I was 15 minute we knew was in the sell. So to me, it seemed like a no-brainer jump to that side. Like,
right.
I'm having a hard time thinking of like what to explain, but that's kind of really my thought process behind all of them. Like, I'm not using any, clouds or indicators. Right. I mean,
so step one for people that are already in Sidekick traders would be tune into one of the channels. The 5 minute one seems to be pretty popular, right? And then at that point, wait for a signal. So it might come up like a buy signal. Now they don't have access to the volume node profile thing that you were showing.
No, but they could put that on their own broker.
They could, yeah. So that would be tip number one, right? Is for them to have that.
It's a volume gap, so it's typically it lines up with when it gaps up in the morning and close. But we could have volume gaps if something just crashes really hard during the day.
Yeah.
It's going to go down really fast, so it's going to be not a lot. It's only selling pressure, right? So there's not a lot of buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. So large volume nodes, the red line across is an auto plot for the largest volume node.
Right.
We played it right here, and I was like, it's above the largest volume node. I think this was the 5-minute buy signal we made. No, that's too late in the day. No, that's it. Anyway. So I simply look, are we above or under the largest volume node? Is there like a huge gap in the volume profile near where we're at? Are we above VWAP and heading to test it from the upside? Are we below it and rebounding and heading up back towards it? And then I look, okay, 2 hours is in a buy, 15 minutes is in a buy, 5 just through a buy. We're above VWAP. We're above the largest volume node, so I know we have good support. And then I take it. What I do also, as I was saying before, in the morning, I think SPY opened in like the 386s, 388s around there. So I'll usually put like at the 0 day or 1 day, whatever I'm playing. If I'm taking the 5 minute, I'm playing the 0 or 1. I'll put the 3 calls on watch and the 388 puts on watch, and then maybe the 389 calls on watch and the 387. I'll cut like these 2 or 3 different strikes of same date contract, the call side. So then, no matter which way it triggers, or even if spot already moved up or down $1 since I last saw a signal, it takes me all of 1 second to flip to the different contract.
Right. So we have a question from O'Neill. Should I do the thing where I put the question up, or does that not apply to other people apart from Michelle? There's no picture of this one, so here we go. So here's the question. Can you see that on your screen?
Yeah, no, it doesn't buy and sell. It just is giving you signals. It's kind of like just like a indicator of momentum, sort of.
Yeah. However, and no promises, there might be an opportunity to have something buy or sell based on these signals at some point in the future. So you can imagine a scenario where somebody who does really well with them, for example, might want to take trades for people via an auto trader type thing with more practice or whatever. But no promises on that. At the moment, there's just an algorithm. So it's just spitting out these indicators. But the cool thing is we can trade them as a group, which was pretty fun today, even though I got totally bombed on it, which was really annoying. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in. I took that loss in R1."
But I mean, in hindsight, and I'm not saying that like I knew better because I still did it anyway. But like I kind of knew, but you know what I mean? I kind of said, I was like, 15 minutes doesn't sell. Let's wait. Let's see if it breaks VWAP. Like today was a hard day to trade in general. And I think we took it at such an interesting area that it was so easy to be wrong. We literally right here. But we stopped out so quick.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was right at the turning point, basically, where we went long. It decided to break the trend line.
Yeah, we got one candle up after because I flipped to the puts by then because I used the incoming. So I bought calls on the 5 minute buy signal. And then when I took the loss on them, is I stopped out when a 5 minute sell came in. And then I just, because of how I showed you, I already had this like symmetrical triangle charted from earlier. It wasn't apex yet. So I knew that my plan was to stop out if it broke under VWAP and have a 5 minute open and close underneath it. And if it broke the uptrend support, it was hard to draw the bottom side because the wicks don't make a line, right? So I kind of had to mix wicks and bodies, but whatever. So it broke it, and then I mean it's just pretty interesting to see. Then as soon as it did, like that was all she wrote. And this is when I left. It was like potential bear flag.
Yeah.
Last thing I said, started it, and then it was textbook bear flag.
Lydia's got a question. So Lydia's asking, I cannot make out the time frames. Are you tracking trend on 15 as your high time frame and executing on the 1 minute with same day expirations?
So the 1 minute I just added maybe like mid last week, so I haven't used them too much, other than to help me be more confident in the 5 minute ones that I have taken. So do you remember, Russell? It was just a couple days ago. I mean, it's Monday now, so maybe Wednesday I added it. But what I'm doing is I usually chart on got a card attacking 1 minute for me. I typically chart on a 5 minute chart. And then I'm watching TradingView also, but I'm using just knowing like if the 15 minute is in a sell, if a 5 minute triggers a buy, I'm going against the recent trend. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm answering that.
Let me put the question.
I'm like
there's Lydia's question up on the thing. So
are you tracking trend? So I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm tracking it. I'm taking note of it. I'm making sure, and we have it up to 2 hours in there. So I'll quickly jump on and I'll look. If I forgot, I'll be like, okay, 2 hours is in a sell. It triggered at 8 a.m. 15 minutes is in a sell. It triggered at 5:30 a.m. Then when I get to 5, if it throws a buy signal, I know that it's a higher risk trade and that I'm going against what 2 higher time frames are telling me. But then I will look at the volume profile and I'll see if I had like today's SPY chart. I charted on my other, not on TradingView. I think is that what you mean? Am I answering right, or?
I think you are. So Monil's asking, does the bot use VWAP and EMA? That's not how it's working, right? You're the one that knows how it works, but it's not using just VWAP and EMA. That's just
No.
It's much more sophisticated than that.
It's a whole written script of a million things that are beyond my understanding. Yeah, Lydia, I'm not trading. I haven't traded personally the 1 minute. Yes, I would say that that's correct. 15, I'm looking more for the trend, and the 5 minute So if I were to take a 15 minute signal, I wouldn't be trading it on the for 0 day or 1 day even. If if this 15 minute signal, we had one the other day right here. It was July, that's 18th at 5. So this is 5:15 this morning. Oh, I should have a better example, but I've traded the 15 minute before. I put notes in the spreadsheet, but I didn't trade a 0 day on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If even though this triggered in pre-market today, there was never ever a buy signal for the rest of the day. And these ones are tight because you can see the volume down here. It's overnight. But if I were to be trading a 15 minute signal, I would go further out on time.
Michael's asking, how does this compare to the GPS? So the GPS fired the same signal today for me at the same time that this thing was firing a buy as well. Unfortunately, they were both wrong, right? So it's hard to say.
Wasn't.
What was that?
I didn't take profit. It wasn't wrong. It went green.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I profited because it was quick.
Oh right, yeah. So Michelle's saying, and I know not to click on Michelle's name, or should I just do it and see what happens to me? This is what Michelle said.
She's gonna,
Michelle said GPS and ball often fire very similar. So yeah.
what,
So yeah. There are some similarities. And for the people that are in the nav room, I'll often switch and look at this bot while I'm making the decision whether to go long or short, via the GPS signal to like extra confirmation. Um, so yeah, it's not just the spy bot as well. We have it set up for like 10 different tickers, but spy is like one of the most popular. So
yeah, I'm just looking. I took it and I shared it at 12:06 and I was up 10.5%. So I went green, or I just didn't get out that.
yeah, I chased it. I think that was the problem. I chased the signal
Yeah.
and ended up
Wait.
I ended up like 16% higher than you or something ridiculous. So
Yeah. So you up is I got it at $1. I waited and I bidded it, and I waited for it to come down a little bit more. But I mean, that's not like really relevant because it's. I mean, it is, and the fact that you have to be fast, or you can go from 10% green to 15% red in just a minute or two. But we knew that was risky.
So we have the different time frames. We do have the 1 minute setup. You got the 5, the 10. You have like the 2 hours or the 15-minute as well, right?
Yeah.
So Kurtak's saying he's testing the 1 minute one, which neither of us have really done that much, and it's been up. And from the trades I've taken, like 65% have been green. However, I do only share scalps, look for 30% profit, and stop loss of 20% max. So you're profitable overall on this 1 minute scalping these things, Kurtak. So let us know in the chat. Let's see.
I think that's awesome. I didn't even really think to do that. Even not even having to go like in a huge position.
So yeah, so Kurtak's saying, yep, he's profitable overall, and not taking all of them. I don't think anybody's taken all of them. There's too many, but that's the beautiful thing, right? So the problem in most services and things, and the GPS trader gets around this too, is you can put some time aside, say an hour a day, and just be like, hey, I'm going to find a signal. If a signal appears on one of these bots, on the Sidekick Traders channel or on the GPS or something, you can just make your own trading time. You don't have to be around at your computer when somebody sends out an alert for you to follow. So I love these things. They're a way to like free up your time but still get high probability trades. So it's pretty exciting.
I'm just there. This looks like a huge 15-minute bear flag. I'm like, how is this gonna pan out tomorrow? This is still running. Anyway. But I would like to work on doing different. I mean, I've just become obsessed with SPY, obviously, right? First, when I was doing it, strictly doing UBXY, that was before I started on the sheet that Michelle with me, the whatever trade tracker. So I was like in this like UBXY kick, and I did well, except for that one day with the FOMC speech meeting, and everything went like up and down 4,000% in 7 seconds.
Right.
Wants like just okay. I feel comfortable with SPY. I feel like I'm comfortable with signals. I feel like I'm comfortable with its contracts. So we have Tesla, we have Amazon, we have AMD, we have Microsoft, we have the Qs. What else do we have? A good handful of them. So I wanted to try to venture out, but I'm a positive personality to begin with, and then I'm like, I guess a little psychologically like, oh, but why fix it if it's working? But other people have been taking like the Amazon and Microsoft and doing well with them. So I think that's so fun too, is that it's not just SPY, but you could be a weirdo like me and just stare at SPY and SPY contracts all day long.
Yeah, exactly. And then you miss something else like ripping up. Like that happened to me on GPS trading stuff today. It's like driving me crazy. So anybody that's in Sidekick that's actually been using these apart from Kurtak, like, do you have any specific questions like for how to use these things better? So I think we've kind of covered like basically you wait for the signal, and then you basically you jump in, and then you have to use your own kind of like management though. So it sounds like you use the VWAP pretty much. A lot of people use the VWAP as a potential like back up to the trade, right? So whether it's pulling back to it, you're kind of looking for it to hold it. What else are you using? Anything else? Probably not, right?
I mean, like I said, if I have a pattern already charted on SPY, if it's 12 in the afternoon, I've been up, sitting here since the open, and I had already seen some kind of pattern forming, then of course I'm going to use that also in my thought process. But no, I look at the volume profile, where the largest volume node is. Are we over it? Are we under it? Like this is, like, we know this will act as resistance. We break resistance, that's fine. It's not going to be an automatic, it can't do it, right? It's got up over here, but there's been so much volume traded here that it might just reject from there. So I would, if I had been entering now and it was like heading up, I would be looking to, okay, maybe it's gonna, start pulling back. Maybe I would think about taking profit around here. And I bet it would probably line up close with VWAP. And if it was trading well above it, I would think, all right, don't paper hand it, because they can get through this so easily. It's a volume gap. So I look, it's so quick. It's so, you could put it on TOS. I know TOS. I'm not sure about Webull. On TradingView, it's free. It was just called the volume profile. But that's really it. I peep here. The red line is auto plotted of the largest volume node.
Yeah.
And I look at my broker and how I chart it, and what's this, like the options contract. I have it so it'll, link. So I'll know how it looks here. If it's a lot of range on the contract. If I notice that SPY just did 3, red candles, 5 minutes, candle under candle, and the contracts are hardly moving up, then I probably would think, okay, this is not going to be an easy trade, or I should just get, the contracts don't seem to be in unison with how SPY is moving.
Yeah. So Raj just joined. He's saying hello. So he'll probably have some questions, I guess, at some point. But basically, the summary seems to be you wait for the signal, and then it seems like Kurtek, I just put his stuff up, just basic support and resistance and candle stuff. Like you drew your wedge, you had your wedge going on today on today's signal, VWAP. So like nothing sophisticated. It's really the signal plus whatever else you'd normally use to kind of help you like have the confidence in the price action kind of thing.
I mean, I've had these support and resistance lines on SPY for months, so that's not even like I have to work there. I'm glad he said that, because I'm so used to seeing them. But yeah, I absolutely will just peep where they are in regards to my support and resistance.
So Mr. IPA is saying the 5-minute SPY signal bought today at 12:30 p.m., which is
I did, and I sold it. I bought it at 50 cents and I sold it at 62 cents, and it went to $6.13 right here.
Too many things on the screen. Let me close this off. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so she actually did play that, Mr. IPA.
Bought it for 50 cents. I sold it for 63 cents.
Yeah, and I was so annoyed because it more than made up for the losing trade, but I didn't have the guts to pull the trigger right after that loss, but you did, and that's what made all the difference.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get more used to it the more you do it. You know.
Yeah. So that's the cool thing though, is like Marian's already mastered this. I mean, I'd say like 40 trades is pretty much. I mean, it's a good statistical chunk of data, right? So.
I think mastering it would involve never, because I'm gonna have to always change with how the market is. But
yeah,
I feel very comfortable playing it, and I am 100% confident anybody else can do it. I feel like it helps to have your flow of order of things. Like I said, before the market's even open, I'm throwing the contracts for both sides on my watch list, and I'm just ready to go. And with this is the price ladder will match up with the options contract itself, so it's so quick. And if you have it set up so you can be quick when the signals come, there's no reason you can't do the same exact thing. Probably, possibly even better, because I constantly paper hand.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Mr. Bill PhD guy. Are you in here today? Because I think he wanted to come and say, like, I think he had quite a few questions, right? So, if you're in, Bill, let us know because I think you had some particular questions. But Lydia's asking how far out with the expiration. You're doing zero DTE on these, right? Most of the
For
time.
the 5-minute trades, yeah, I'm either doing 0 or 1. If it's obviously like tomorrow, Tuesday, SPY will only have
And you're like really close to the money, right? I think we did
pretty
like the
money. Yeah, if SPY's at 388 and 20 cents, I might still do a 388 put. I might go down to 387, right basically at the money because it moves those couple cents so quick. But I also, like I said, I have them on the watch list. So I know how each contract is moving, even just from looking up at here. Like, okay, this one's ranged from 50 cents to 98 cents in the past 5 minutes. But these contracts went from, 20 cents to 85, like whatever. So I kind of keep an eye on how they're moving in general. And yeah, just 0 or 1 day if I'm taking a 5-minute. If I
yeah.
was 15-minute, then I would probably do, if I was taking a 15-minute, I would probably even still do like a weekly. This way it's not so they don't usually come unless you're trading super sideways. They're not like back to back 15 buy sell buy sell. It's happened, but it's not very common. But that wouldn't destroy the contract, and I could
Right.
still have a choice to think about it differently.
Right, and the cool thing is when you're talking about this in the different channels and Sidekick, we also have Michelle who's awesome into her own self, so she'll chime in with whatever she's seeing. And Lydia, Michelle's very similar to you. She's also got GPS Trader, so like she'll chip in with like the squeeze stuff like that you're interested in as well. And we kind of put it all together, right? That's what we did today. We put it all together,
Yeah.
um, into like kind of like a group mindset, which is really fun. Because trading's horrendous on your own, right? It's pretty terrible if you're just trading by yourself.
And everyone has a little bit of a bias on accident.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice to have somebody else see something with fresh eyes or different, and then you can come to a conclusion kind of together.
Yeah, or talk each other out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or just all completely fail, like what happened. Well, it happened to you, of course, but it happened to me. So Michelle's saying we all got faked out on the spy calls. But that's going to happen every blue moon, right? We're all going to get kind of faked out. So, but that was timing.
But we knew to stop out quick. I stuck to my plan. You stopped out way earlier than me, but you were higher than me. And the 5-minute signal kind of lined up with the candle printing out the trend. So I was like, all right, I'm out. That was my rules. That's what I said. I'm out. Taking it. It went back. I could maybe a $25 loss instead of 50, but I stuck to my plan. I cut it, and I was able to flip sides and run the puts for one fraction of the entire day sell-off.
Introducing Michelle to Lydia. So I don't know if you made it into Nav room today, Lydia, but I had a horrendous fail on a short on SPY. I got totally shaken out, and then Michelle just stayed in it and made a gazillion dollars off of it. Just
a gazillion.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Got faked out in one little signal, and then another one fired, and I was too freaked out because I'd taken 2 losses in a row that day, and then Michelle was just like, you know what, I'm holding this thing, and it just went down the rest of the afternoon. So it was crazy. So it's good. Any other questions about these bots? There's a 3-day trial to come into Sidekick. It's not the only thing we do. It's one of the main things we've been focusing on at the moment. But if you want to come in, I've posted the link. Come in and check it out. Like you'll see us trading this stuff. And kind of hopefully learn from Marian. She seems to have mastered this thing. We can try and all win these trades together because you really can't argue with the track record. 39 trades and doubled your in like the worst month that we've seen for a long time. So pretty good. Yeah, and you're switching from penny stocks. So for you guys that don't know, Marian, she started off trading penny stocks for the last couple of years, and now totally adapting and switching to an options
But do you
trading
know
strategy.
a little trend that I just so happen to be buying options that are exactly like penny stocks? I think I needed to make a smooth transition, so I'm just going for like the balls to the wall 0 day.
Yeah, and that's what Michael's asking. He's saying the strategy works so good. Shouldn't you be using larger size or just going on the underlying? And I guess that's the answer, right? Is we are pivoting. Marian's pivoting away from penny stocks, which was her bread and butter, and she like doubled her account or something ridiculous with penny stocks. But the penny stocks haven't been working very well since the market got so choppy. So now,
Michael, I wanted to make sure I trusted myself and come up with a set of rules, which is the rules and stuff that I just went over, like if the next incoming signal is your stop and stuff like that. I wanted to make sure on a small account that it would work if you still got red trades, if the stops were good enough to stop you out, even though I saw the stops on some of them because gaps in it, but whatever. But I definitely will be sizing up trading it on an account now that I trust both the system and myself, and I see the outcome of goals. And then my kids will be school in the fall, so like kind of nice, perfect lineup. And then I'm just gonna YOLO my whole account.
yeah.
I'm kidding, but yeah, no, I will. What's the same right? It's I don't. Just don't forget my how I trade. This is I never changed. Um, so 39 trades. I don't know if it's accurate there. I don't know. 39 trades, 5 4 red. I don't think it's. I don't think that.
It's good, whatever it is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do it. So you had sounds like an 80%, but let me have a look. So 39 trades, 4 losses. So
Thanks. I'm trying.
so 35 out of 39, right? Which is 90%. Nice.
You
And
like?
not bad at all. Not bad at all. Oh, we need to address your losses. Don't want you getting away with that. Why are your losses minus 100%?
I should have a note on why.
You just let them expire or something?
I probably stopped that at the incoming signal.
Okay.
Written something. And this must have gapped. I remember a lot of people started asking me if they were swingable, and I was taking the 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I'll try. And then I bought it, and it opened up at like so much lower. Same thing with this one. You could literally pull it up. I bought it at $3, and it opened, I think, at like 36 cents. So there was just, I was like, whatever. At this point, it's like, it's almost all gone. So I just kind of let it expire.
So that gets a good point though. Like, how many of these are day trades and how many are swing trades?
Let's see. I've
Roughly.
tried one and I got clobbered, right? So this swing trade worked. So swing, swing, swing. This is my biggest clobber. I was in put, and that's when SPY gapped up like ginormous from that Friday to that Monday.
Yeah.
I tried swinging multiple time frames. We're on a sell. The gap killed it. It opened up. There was no way to have a stop loss because it was well below it. I want to say it opened up at like 30 cents, and I bought them at $3 at Friday, like right close. And this is the one from today. And I followed the rules. I stopped out when the 5-minute cell signal.
Lydia's saying the gap spanked her too.
The one from today or the one from my $300 loss one?
Probably both. So I guess. Cool.
Yeah. There's like, it's done. I messed up. Shouldn't have swung it. It's gone. I could have gotten like $30 back from each one. Oh, I only had one, so I could have gotten like $30 back. But I mean, it was just.
Monil's asking how long's the swing, roughly, if you do a swing on them? Like,
I haven't been swinging them, so I don't know. If you were to swing the 2-hour time frame, I'll pull it up and we could see about how many days each. So like this was a great one. This was a 2-hour buy signal on July 15th. It didn't throw a sell all the way until the 18th, so that could have been a 3-day thing. Obviously, close expirations data would have started kicking in the contracts. It wouldn't just only go up, but you wouldn't buy that close of expiration on a 2-hour time swing. You could tell down at the bottom how it's low volume. So I know these look close together, but these are not during market open. So you wouldn't count them as valid. So pretty much it would be this one did trigger on the 15th. You wouldn't have gotten a sell until really this is the one that was in the market hours. So until today. And now we're in a 2-hour sell. And look, 2-hour bear flag too. Tell me bear flags haunting me. I can't even see bull flags anymore.
You're traumatized, yeah. Well, so there's a variety of different time frames, Manil. So like we were talking a lot there about the 1 and the 5-minute. So they're most likely day trades, right? But this is the 2-hour. So you can also
the 4-hour now.
The other thing we've been doing, which is really awesome, which I don't think many people do, is if you have a ticker request, we've generally just been adding it to the channels so you can have your own favorite ticker on there. So, like Marian was saying, we've done like the Qs.
NVIDIA. I think a lot of people have been trading that recently.
Yeah, I did NVDA the other day. So yeah, that'd be cool having NVIDIA on there as well.
Yeah, I'm reading that now, Lydia, and that's why I look every time. I think only one. I tried to swing 3 times. My 2 biggest losses were from swinging, and my other one, I just stopped out before even the next day because it just, and I got stopped out of it. So I the way that I'm trading them, they are day trades. They're based off of a 5-minute chart. So, and they're 1 day to 0 day expirations is pretty much the most I've taken. If you're going to try to swing them, then you need to use the higher time frame signals and buy time. But they're definitely doable. I mean, some of the signal, this is a 4-hour signal. The sell triggered on June 27th, and buy didn't trigger all the way until July 6th. So you had all that time where you pretty much could have been right.
Yeah, for sure. Any other questions about these? Like, the hope is that we can the people that are inside Kick already can kind of get a good feel here for what the basics are. Kurtak's saying the current geopolitical situation doesn't support swing trading, unfortunately. Yeah, I know. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Of course, I took a swing today from Jeff Bishop's bullseye trades. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
You see Michael's question, have you noticed it working better for a particular time frame? Put it up here.
Can you ask that in a different way, Michael? Like which signals are more consistent?
So it's, have you noticed it working better for a particular time frame?
Is there so that's a hard, I know what you're saying, but it's not really something that's answerable, because we're talking about trading options, right? So there's too much opportunity for people to do things differently. So that 2-hour time frame may work perfectly for me, and I chose contracts that were weeks out, but someone else used the same signal, and you know what I mean? Like they did a 3-day to expiration or something, and it didn't move enough. Like, you kind of have to just use kind of like common sense of how much of the time frame you're basing it off of. If 4 hours isn't sell and 2 hours isn't sell, and then you get a 15-minute sell signal, you're trying to trade that, then you're not going to pay attention to the 5. So they're,
Your audio's going kind of weird.
there's really no false positive. It's just
Oh, great. Marian died, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll try and answer that. If she comes back, that'll be great. If not, then we can wrap it up. But so there's a couple other questions. So first, let me see. Is there a way to detect false positives? So Monil, she set it up so that on the actual program, these arrows do reprint. I'm going to add Marian back if she comes back. So these do reprint. So what Marian has done is she set it up so that they only print when they don't reprint, if that makes sense. So at the end of the candle, so that like automatically is filtering out some of the false positives that you could get. Are you back, Marian? It looks like you are, but you're muted. So the way that it's set up in Sidekick is, well, she's back now. So just back me up here. Make sure I'm telling the right story.
Yeah, it went like alien mode, and then just completely hung up on me.
Doesn't surprise me in the least. It really doesn't. Given that, like, just about destroyed my ears before we went live with the.
That's what it sounded like.
Anyway,
Okay.
see the question, man. Is there a way to detect false positive among all the signals? I was just saying that you've tried to set it up so that it only prints it on the Discord when the signal is like not going to reprint.
It can't. It can only show us when the candle closes. So exactly. It can't. Yeah.
Right. So in these things, the problem is reprints, right? So she set it up so it's only when the candle closes, and then you can, have more certainty that it's not just going to vanish or disappear. And then apart from that, the filtering out with your own analysis on top of the signals is really the only other way to kind of add more strength to the decision to take the trade, which is what we're talking about, like, bouncing off the VWAP or the volume or whatever added on top of the signals. So do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just saying, like, either way, it's like a false positive. It's either the market kept going or it didn't. And, we're all, if Russell takes the same signal as me but plays a completely different contract, it's going to go differently than how it will go for me. So
usually worse.
Yeah.
You tell I'm bitter from today. I was like,
you'll get over it though.
Maybe.
You will.
Yeah, well, that's part of the battle, right? It's about bouncing back and not just giving up on the first slate. So I don't play these very often. I've been watching Marian and looking at her track record and being like, well, I want to play these. So I took my first one today, chased it, and pulled back and stopped me out at like 30% negative.
I should have stopped you. I should have stopped both of us because I knew.
It's like, yeah, and then of course I was just so disgruntled by that I didn't jump into the next one, which Marian did, and ended up net positive for the day. So yeah, got to keep consistent. You got to just find your own way of doing these things, and obviously you've done that. Michael's asking about Mara. Remember Mara?
I haven't traded Mara since it cheated on me.
Yeah.
Did it down to like something ridiculous, like $10? Yeah, it's $10. And what did it go into? Went to 85. Yeah, after it ran away from me like that and cheated on me when we were best friends, I kind of turned my back And then I got uncomfortable with Bitcoin in general. I thought it just was only coming down. So I kind of haven't really played actually any of the sympathy Bitcoin tickers in a long while.
Yeah.
I hope that helped. I mean, it's hard to like under-explain. It's hard to over-explain. Like you could do either one on accident. And like, it's just, this is how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know? Everyone else, some people use EMAs, and you got to have your own comfortability and thought process too to help. This is not a like, what do you call it? Like it's not foolproof. Like it's a tool, and it happens to be, in my opinion, a really, really good one. All of us that are using it have really liked it, but there's no magic answer. You have to agree with the thought process. You have to be comfortable. You have to look at it how you look at it, and I don't know. It's helped me a lot. I love it.
Yeah. Pretty good. Any more questions from anybody? Again, if you want to come and look at this in more detail, there is a 3-day trial for Sidekick traders. You can see everything we have in there, this being one of the main things, but there's like a million other things. So Michelle is doing awesome alerts. And then there's a bunch of stuff. So this one's pretty interesting at the moment, mainly because Marian's freaking killing it with it. So
Lydia, there's so much put into it. It's like a written script. There's actually 2 separate portions of it. I couldn't even explain it to be honest. It's definitely a momentum indicator. But they don't tell you, because they don't want you to replicate it. So I just know it's 2 separate scripts that work in unison with each other. And even if they told me what exactly they had it set up to be, it would be over my head, because they're mixing a million things and they wrote it themselves.
Right. Kind of like the GPS type of thing. So lots of stuff in there. Yeah. Pretty good. Anybody got any other questions? It's been an hour. Happy to answer any more, but if there's not any pressing questions. Yeah, like the GPS trader is proprietary stuff, so kind of hard to say what's going on, but it's not just marking moving crossovers or anything like that, so it's good.
Yeah, and it just so happens that TradingView, and like I pay for the script, so I have access to it, so I'm allowed to import the signals. You know what I mean? GPS is like its kind of own program, but
What are you eating? It's like munching away there.
Oh, what am I eating?
Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms.
Right.
Yeah, they're kind of like liquid.
Yeah. Are you going to show us your zombie stomach?
I'll say it. I'm so hot. I went from the air conditioning on because it's too loud.
Yeah.
I thought you could see it before. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cover it with my hair.
Just put it in my pants.
Shove it in my pants.
Put it in my pants. You didn't even said that there.
No, I had no idea.
Track down that Facebook post with the guy that's giving you grief about
that ended up being somebody's uncle. I was like, yeah, that's disgusting.
Foul. Truly foul.
Yeah.
Truly foul. Well, it seems like the questions have all dried up. So, yeah, not much more to say about this. It's awesome. I'm trying to copy Marian on it. So hopefully I'll have a better job at it tomorrow. I mean, we've talked about doing live trading on this because that would be the easiest way. But the problem is we all are so busy all the time. It's like almost impossible to jump on.
Michelle and I are definitely committed to start in the fall. I know her younger son will be back in school. I'll have at least 3 days where I'll have 6 hours that mine are both in school. And we both would prefer to do it. It's really hard, especially on these quick trades, to manage your position while typing it out and taking a screenshot and sharing it in there and tag. So we do it, obviously, and we're happy to, but it would be easier on live. So definitely like another, 4 weeks, I guess. No. Don't remind me. Don't count the weeks. I don't want to know how much longer I have to survive with the kids here.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it. So hopefully that was helpful. Come and check out Sidekick Traders 3-day trial. We used to do 2 weeks, but then people started abusing it and just repeatedly coming in on 2-week trials and never paying. So we shut that down to 3 days, which is more than enough to kind of go through things. If you do come in, say hello and we'll kind of give you a bit of a tour and stuff as well. Because we're super helpful and nice.
And even on Facebook, if you have questions, just ask me if you want to know more. And I'm always somewhere that I can be found.
Yeah, hiding somewhere. All right. Well, thanks for doing that, Marian. That's awesome. So let's try and catch some of these tomorrow. Good.
Definitely. I hope it helped. And we'll do it as a team tomorrow. I'm excited.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a good evening, and let us know if you want to join Sidekicks. Come in and hopefully we can start adding you guys to communities for the people that aren't already in it. So good. All right. Have a good one.
Watching, guys, and coming for questions, and I hope it helped.
All right. Cheers.